Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have two things happening. We're going over the Teal Mask Ogerpon starter deck, and we're doing it on the desktop version, no longer the mobile, because a few of you have left comments asking me to switch over. With that being said, there are a few things that I like more on the mobile, like being able to see the full deck list. However, this won't affect us. We'll be able to go through this entire deck list and talk about the important cards. Starting with Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. This Pokemon is very unique because it has the ability Teal Dance, which essentially lets you play an extra energy every single turn. Because it says once during your turn, you may attach a basic grass energy card from your hand to this Pokemon. If you did attach a card this way, then you also get to draw. So it's a draw engine and it's a wrap engine. And already those two things incredibly strong. And if you have 3 grass energies attached to your Teal Mask Ogerpon, well then its attack is even better. It'll deal a base of 30 and then deal an additional 30 for each energy attached to both you and your opponent's active Pokemon. So right off the bat, this is going to do 120 if you at least have 3 energies. Now currently in the meta, Teal Mask Ogerpon EX is very strong into Terra Charizard EX because it's a darkness Pokemon that's weak to grass. However, this deck actually has another very strong component, and that is your Raging Bolt EX, which has 2 attacks. It's a dragon type with no weakness. It has the attack Burst Roar, which discards your hand and then draws 6 cards for you. Now, this is very important because this entire deck is all about discarding your cards. More importantly, discarding your non-grass energies, being your lightning energies and your fighting energies. Because if you have at least one of each attached to this Pokemon, you can use Bellowing Thunder, which deals 70 damage for each energy you discard from your side of the board. You don't even have to discard from this Pokemon. You can discard from that Teal Mask Ogerpon and just start tacking on damage. You can do as much as 600 plus damage in one turn, which is pretty nuts. A couple other Pokemon we should talk about is Squawkabilly EX. This Pokemon, you only want to see it on your first turn. Otherwise, if you see it past your first turn, you don't even want to play it because you're going to use its ability Squawk and Seize. Once during your first turn, you may discard your entire hand and then draw 6 cards, and you can't use more than one during your turn. So you can only use this on your first turn and you could only use one, but this helps you dig into your deck and find the cards that you're looking for. Another Pokemon is going to be Fan Rotom here, which has the ability Fan Call that also works on your first turn, which allows you to search your deck for up to 3 colorless Pokemon with HP less than 100 or less, reveal them and then add them to your hand. And you can't use more than one of these abilities on your first turn. Now it's also important to know that you can attack for 70 damage for only 1 energy. So if you're going second, you can actually attack your opponent's basic Pokemon and knock them out if you have a stadium in play, which this deck actually runs. Now, the Pokemon you're targeting is going to be your Hoothoot and your Noctowl, more specifically the Noctowl with the ability Jewel Seeker, because if you have your Teal Mask Ogerpon on your bench, you can play this from your hand to evolve your Noctowl, and if you do, just like Sylveon EX from Pokemon Pocket, you can then search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards, reveal them, and then add them to your hand. Now that we got the Pokemon covered and out of the way, let's talk about the stadium, because in this game, you can have up to 5 Pokemon on your bench. However, if you play the Stadium Area 0 Under Depths and you have your Terra Pokemon being Teal Mask Ogerpon on your board, well, now your new limit is 8 basic Pokemon, which is kind of great, especially when you want to start feeding energies to so many other Pokemon on your board. So that way your Raging Bolt can just go crazy. And the best way to do this is with Professor Sada's Vitality, which is why I said you really want to discard your cards. Don't be afraid to discard them, because this says choose up to 2 of your ancient Pokemon and attach a basic energy from your discard pile to each of them. So you get to ramp 2 energy from your discard pile for free, and it doesn't even count as your energy for your turn. We also have Glass Trumpet, which works if you have a Terra Pokemon in play, which you're gonna have one, and you can choose up to 2 of your benched colorless Pokemon and attach basic energy cards from your discard pile. So if you attach this and combo with Professor Sada's Vitality, that's 4 energy on the board in one single turn. Your Raging Bolt is about to go crazy. And the final card I really want to talk about is going to be the Prime Catcher, which is your ace spec, and it's like Boss's Orders, but it also pivots your active out. out. So if you have something else in the active spawn, you want to get your Raging Bolt in and you want to switch them out, well, Prime Catcher is the card for you. It's think of Boss's Orders, but like also it helps you out tremendously. Anyway, that's enough of this deck list. Let me know what you guys think of this new setup, the desktop. I imagine a lot of you like it, but maybe some of you like the mobile setup. Let me know in the comments. With that, let's hop into some gameplay. All right, we got Tails, preferably with this deck. I think I actually want to go second. We'll see what our opponent lets us do. Maybe they want to go first. I feel like if you want to evolve, you probably want to go first. But we don't really have too many Pokemon that want to evolve. Your opponent will go first. Cool. This is actually really good for us. And I might actually be able to showcase how strong this deck is going first. All right, we have no energy. I'll attach here. Get done. This isn't the end of the world. We have some crazy options here. If I can just top deck a stadium, we knock this guy out. Which is kind of nuts. All right. We have an energy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this guy. Very important. I'm also going to do this. Get rid. We're going to have to do this, right? Get rid of that. And we're going to go for Teal Mask Ogerpon. It's because I see a potential, like we could potentially knock out turn 1, which I think is pretty cool. I'm going to use the ability Teal Dance. If I play this correctly, again, guys, it's all about sequencing. I can attach here. I'm going to do this to get rid and then just get, yeah, sure. Why not? Put one in your hand. I'm going to have to go with this one. And that way I can attach this here. And I'm going to use my Squawk ability's ability right now so we can draw more cards. All we need is, there it is, GG's. Turn 1 GG's. I'm absolutely going to have to make another match to showcase this, but look at that. I told you guys, you definitely want to go second with this deck. This is actually a deck, like I like Teal Mask Ogerpon Raging Bolt, so I feel pretty comfortable with this. But let's run another match. All right, our opponent's going to go first again. Let's see if we can have a crazy opener like we just did. I think this is the play here. I'll just start the game there. We're not entirely sure if they... I think this means that they have a basic and they're just taking their time. But Nest Ball into Squawk ability, I think is the play. We could also Iono, which I might do, to be honest. The reason is we'll be able to cycle our hand a ton. And if we can get both an energy on this and then get the energy we need on this, we could potentially just win another turn 1 game, which I don't think it's fair for me to showcase this deck at this level because it's a deck that I am actually very familiar with. So it just feels kind of very comfortable to play. All right, so they have 2 Pokemon. They're going first. What we want to do is knock out this Charmander, assuming they give it energy. They might actually go for the Blaziken because if they can evolve this into Terra, they'll just charge up with their own ability. You know, I think it actually does look better to play this on desktop because, let me see here. We can click this. It'll show everything on the card. Yeah, it's not bad actually. Same here. If you guys are ever interested on what a card does, I can just click and it might actually look better on desktop. Who knows? I might be a fan now. You also don't have my face cam taking up half the screen anymore. Although not a lot of people complained. You should have probably. All right, now it's my turn. Oh, okay. Kind of stinks because I don't know. I'll do this. I'll do this. I'll grab this guy. I'm going to activate my ability now. Yes, I needed him so bad, actually. We are going to Iono here. And then we're going to just Squawkabilly, I think. I'll do this. Is that the play that I want to do? Maybe, right? I'll put this Pokemon down. I'm going to go for Teal Mask. Again, we're not using our energy. I'm just showing you the sequencing that I'm going for this turn. I'll do this real quick. In order to find someone else. Now, I think I do, in fact, give the energy here because we could just knock out this Charmander, which is what I'm going to go for. And now I'll Earthen Vessel. And I'll bring one of each. And now I'll discard these cards with my Squawkabilly. Hopefully you guys are following. Draw all of these instead. I can put this down. I can retreat now into my Fan Rotom. And if I have another Teal Mask Ogerpon, I might just, yeah, I'll do it. Say I won't. Look at this. If they get rid of my stadium, we lose a lot of Pokemon here. But that's fine. And then we draw. This is what we want to use next turn. Ramp these two up. And now we get to attack for 70. Charmander, one prize card. And that was, I believe, our first turn. So again, this deck, I'm very comfortable with, but there's just so much you can do with it. You know what it feels like? If we're going to equate it to a deck in Pokemon Pocket, this deck feels like Dark Tina. For those of the Pokemon Pocket players that are watching, this is what this deck feels like. Both Pokemon that you're really synergizing are basics, and then you have a bunch of other cards that just help. Now we just have to wait for our opponent. All right, looks like Eevee's coming in, and this is the Eevee with the boosted evolution. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, it can evolve during your first turn or the turn you play it. A little concerning. But if they don't evolve, they do evolve. Big yanks. All right, I think we're okay here. Ironically. I think I can retreat into my Raging Bolt. So let me show you what this card does. Not only does it ramp, but it's also a draw engine. Like, who thought this card was a good idea? It ramps 2 of your ancient Pokemon, which we have 3 of. They have a Terra now, so they have 8 Pokemon. This is Stadium, like I said in the earlier videos. It works for both. We need to see energy cards. I'll do this. I'll attach this here. And I'll attach this here. Okay. We draw 3. I'll attach here. I'll use this. I will get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. I think I'm going to go for the grass energy. It makes the most sense. And then I will attach right there. Draw. I will attach right there. Draw. I don't think I have any more grass energies, which kind of stinks. I can evolve my Noctowl now. Use Jewel Seeker. I can find 2 trainer cards and add them to my hand. Energy retrieval, I think might actually be helpful because there's a grass energy there, right? And I'm going to go Glass Trumpet. Actually, maybe not. I could end up drawing that, so I'll go for this one. Such a good card. All right, so let's add some cards back to our hand. It's that one. I'm going to synergize here. And now, if I'm not mistaken, I just have to get rid of 4 energies. So I'll retreat here. Bring this guy. I'm going to swing 560 total. Did you guys see that? We're going to remove 2 energy here. And we're going to remove 2 energy here. And that's 70 times 4. That should be 280. My math is horrible, but I feel confident. 280. And we pick up 2 prize points, you guys. It's really hard to play against this deck. Oh man, and this is a free starter deck, which is the crazy part. Would love to get your guys' opinions. In fact, me showcasing how to play this deck as a starter guide, I feel like people in the community might actually dislike me for it. Like, why are you teaching people how to play Raging Bolt? Teal Mask Ogerpon. This is already such an oppressing deck. We need 3 more knockouts. 2 more if one of them are an EX. Is an EX, I mean. All right, I'm gonna... And another thing is, like, look at my deck size is 16 to their 40. This deck draws. Like, I'm just drawing everything. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. They just surrendered. But there you guys have it. Hopefully that was helpful for you if you're trying to play the free starter deck for Raging Bolt Teal Mask Ogerpon. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. We're getting the new set this Friday, so I'm trying to get these starter decks out before the new set drops, so that way I can just play spicy new mega Pokemon cooks. I'm very excited. I hope you guys are too. Don't forget to like, hype, and subscribe.